You set a goal to save money this year. You probably failed. Not because you're weak. Because goals don't build wealth. Habits do. And most people never learn the difference. A goal is a wish with a deadline. A habit is a system that runs without you thinking about it. One requires willpower. The other requires design. Willpower is a limited resource. Design is permanent. The people who get rich don't set better goals. They build better loops. Let me show you what I mean. Two people want to save $10,000. Same goal. Same income. Same starting point. Person A writes it down. Sets a target date. Feels motivated. Person B automates a transfer. $500. Every payday. Straight to savings. Person A checks their balance weekly. Feels guilty. Promises to do better next month. Person B forgets the system exists. 12 months later, Person B has $6,000. Person A has $800. Same goal. Different structure. The system decided the outcome. Goals feel productive. They give you a dopamine hit when you set them. You write them in a journal. You tell people about them. You feel like you've started. But you haven't. You've just announced an intention. Intentions don't transfer money. Systems do. Here's what most people don't realize. The economy doesn't reward effort. It rewards patterns. If you work hard for 3 months and then stop, you get nothing. If you do something small every week for 3 years, you get compounding. The market doesn't care about your motivation. It cares about your consistency. And consistency doesn't come from willpower. It comes from removing the need for willpower. Let's talk about what goals actually do. They create a finish line. And finish lines have a problem. Once you cross them, the behavior stops. You hit your savings target. You stop saving. You lose the weight. You stop the diet. You finish the course. You stop learning. The goal was the event. The habit was never built. So 6 months later, you're back where you started. Maybe worse. Because now you've proven to yourself that effort doesn't last. Habits don't have finish lines. They have loops. Trigger. Action. Reward. Repeat. You don't celebrate the end. You automate the middle. And over time, the automation becomes your identity. You're not someone trying to save money. You're someone who saves money. There's no effort in that sentence. Just structure. Most people think they need more discipline. They don't. They need less friction. Discipline is what you use when the system is badly designed. If saving money requires you to manually transfer funds, remember to do it, and resist spending it, you're relying on discipline. If it happens automatically before you see the money, you're relying on design. Design wins. Every single time. The wealthy understand this. They don't budget harder. They remove decisions. Automatic investments. Automatic savings. Automatic debt payments. The money moves before they touch it. They're not more disciplined. They're less involved. And that's the point. The best financial systems are the ones you forget about. Here's the part that makes people uncomfortable. Your current habits are already working. They're just working toward a different outcome than the one you say you want. If you check your bank account and feel surprised by how little is there, that's not bad luck. That's the result of a habit loop you didn't design. Spending without tracking. Buying without planning. Drifting without structure. Those are habits too. And they compound just like the good ones. Except in reverse. Let me give you a number. $50 a week. That's it. Automated. Non-negotiable. $50. Over 1 year, that's $2,600. Over 5 years, it's $13,000. Over 10 years, it's $26,000. And that's without interest. Without raises. Without optimization. Just the loop. Now compare that to setting a goal to save aggressively for 3 months, burning out, and stopping. You might save $2,000 in those 3 months. Then nothing for 2 years. The habit beats the goal. Not because it's more intense. Because it doesn't stop. Goals also create the illusion of progress. You set a target. You feel like you've done something. But the gap between intention and action is where most people live. They know what they should do. They just never build the system that makes it happen. And every year, the gap gets wider. Not because they're lazy. Because the system was never designed to function without them remembering. Let's talk about what happens long term. 2 people. Same age. Same income. One builds habits. One sets goals. Year 1. Not much difference. Year 3. Small gap. Year 10. Different lives. The person with habits has investments, savings, momentum. The person with goals has stories about what they almost did. Same intelligence. Same opportunities. Different structure. The system sorted them. Quietly. And here's what nobody tells you. The longer you rely on goals, the harder it gets. Because every time you fail to hit one, you lose a little bit of trust in yourself. You start to believe you're the kind of person who doesn't follow through. And maybe you are. Not because you lack character. Because you never built a system that works without character. Habits don't ask you to be better. They ask you to be consistent. And consistency doesn't require transformation. It requires repetition. The same small action. Again. And again. Until it's not a decision anymore. Just what you do. Most people won't do this. They'll set another goal. Write it down. Feel motivated. Wait for the feeling to fade. Then wonder why nothing changed. The answer is simple. Goals are events. Habits are systems. Events create spikes. Systems create trajectories. And trajectories decide everything. You don't need a bigger goal. You need a smaller loop. Something so simple you can't fail. Something that runs whether you're motivated or not. Because motivation is weather. Structure is climate. And climate always wins. The people who build wealth aren't the ones who want it most. They're the ones who designed a life where it happens without wanting. The transfer occurs. The investment grows. The debt shrinks. Not because they're thinking about it. Because the system is thinking for them. You probably won't change anything after watching this. Most people don't. They'll nod. Agree. Move on. And 5 years from now, they'll be in the same place. Wondering why effort never turned into outcome. The answer was always the same. Effort without system is just noise. System without effort is compounding. And compounding is the only thing that matters. Habits beat goals. Not because they're more inspiring. Because they don't need to be. They just run. And over time, running is all that counts.